Welcome to the first episode of Empowering Sustainability, a podcast series from the Energy Literacy for Youth project, or ELI. This podcast explores how youth, organizations, and communities across Europe are coming together to drive sustainable change. And in this first episode, we'll take you to the Folkecenter for Renewable Energy in Denmark, a pioneering space for innovation, education, and climate action. Our ELI project partners visited the Folkecenter to learn, connect, and share ideas. In this episode, you'll hear from Otwarty our project coordinator. You'll hear from INFORSE-Europe, our project partner who helped organize the visit, as well as representatives from the Folkecenter and our partner YEE, Youth and Environment Europe. We'll talk about what inspired us, what we learned, and how this experience is shaping our work going forward. Let's get started. To kick things off, Clara from Otwarty, our project coordinator, will give us a quick overview of the ELI project and what brought us to the Folkecenter in the first place. Clara, the floor is yours.
The Energy Literacy for Youth project seeks to empower marginalized youth by equipping them in the knowledge and skills necessary to understand the links between energy literacy and climate action. This project has four main objectives. First one is to research and identify the specific needs and barriers faced by marginalized youth in becoming energy literate. A second one is to create an inclusive, accessible curriculum that connects energy literacy with active citizenship and climate crisis. Thirdly, to enhance access to online resources about the climate crisis and sustainable energy. And finally, to ensure the widespread dissemination and effective implementation of the curriculum through all the groups that we will work with.
Well, now that you've heard who we are and why we're here, let's dive into the purpose behind this visit. We're now joined by a representative from INFORSE-Europe, Judith, who is the main organizer of this trip, and she will explain us why the Folkecenter was chosen and how it connects to the mission of the ELI project. Let's hear it, Judith.
Good morning. My name is Judith Soletsky and I am from INFORSE-Europe. First of all, I would like to tell that I'm really happy that we could host the ELI project partners in Denmark, and I'm also happy that we can visit the Folkecenter. The main reason is why we choose the Nordic Folkecenter for Renewable Energy is because it is an ideal place to learn about renewable energy, combining theory and practice. And this is what we aim to do. As we are in the process creating the curriculum for the ELI project, and we are testing different methodologies. Visiting the Folkecenter helps us to go beyond theory and beyond the books. We develop a curriculum which is participatory and also hands-on. Besides, we had a project meeting in Denmark, hosted by INFORSE-Europe, which has several members in Denmark. We were in Copenhagen at the Environmental and Energy Center in Høje Tastrup, and as we are in Denmark, it was an obvious choice to grab the opportunity and visit the Folkecenter. Maybe I need to introduce INFORSE. INFORSE is an abbreviation of our name, the International Network for Sustainable Energy, in short INFORSE. It's a global network of about 140 NGOs, civil society organizations. In Europe, there are about 60 members. The Folkecenter is actually one of the founding members of INFORSE. The network was established at the UN conference, a so-called Earth Summit, which was in Rio in 1992. And it was the first summit which first time linked the development and environment. Before, the development was only about industrialization, but without focus on environment. Not many knows, but it was actually the Earth Summit which established the Climate Convention and the Biodiversity Convention. So when it will be the UN conference, COP30 in Brazil this year in November, it will be the 30th conference, as the first conference was in Berlin in 1995. But going back to your question, It was important for us that the project partners can see renewable energy in practice. And this is a real ideal place to do this, and we recommend really everybody to visit it. The Folkecenter is a research, demonstration, and educational center for renewable energy. The center is in northwest Denmark, near to the ocean and beside a beautiful fjord. It's quite windy here. Here you can see different types of small windmills, solar cells, solar water heat collectors, houses with passive solar architecture. There is also a straw house and even a newly built tiny house. There is an amazing, beautiful octagonal conference hall, and there is a library, electrical bicycles, a biodome, an info center, exhibition of windmill history, and a lot more things. The Folkecenter is visited by many people every year, including school children, trainees, international groups like us. And the Folkecenter is also engaged in Africa, so you can also learn about solutions in the global south. Today we also learned that when there is no wind and no sun, which is very rare, but happens, there are also heat storages, batteries, heat pumps, and there is also a small plant oil furnace to help out. Today actually it's quite windy, and the wind will produce a lot of electricity, but yesterday it was both windy and very sunny, so the solar cells produced a lot of power. We also have seen a computer screen where we can follow how much energy is produced and how much is consumed just now. Finally, I would like to thank for the Folkecenter welcoming us, and thank for Jene Krause guiding us through the center. And thanks for the tasty vegetarian food and the good advice how we can be more sustainable. Thank you for all.
Thank you, Judith. Now, to understand the impact of the Folkecenter more deeply, we sat down with one of their team members, Jane. Jane shared the center's mission, history, and what makes their approach to sustainability truly unique, especially in how they involve young people. Let's hear what Jane said to our partners, Claire from MigLAB and Clara from Otwarty Plan.
So Jane, can you briefly introduce yourself and your role at the Folkecenter?
Yeah. I'm director here, and I've been starting Nordic Folkecenter also, and it was back in the 70s that we have this problem about getting oil from Saudi Arabia, and it was 100% depend on oil. And then they really get up in the price, and then there was people starting talking about atomic energy. But we were a group that said we should go another way, and there was also business people that come to us and said we want to go to another place. And then we start up with funding from the Danish state as a NGO, non-governmental organization, where we also get our money from. And then we have been, in the beginning, there was 25 people employed here, and we work for setting up and developed wind energy, biogas, and solar heating, not PV, also not photovoltaics in this time. So, and then the business people come to us and get education, how to set it together, set it up, do the foundation, do the measurement, do the control system. And that was the beginning of Nordic Folkecenter. And I have to say to you very clear that when we work with energy, it can be the black energy and it can be the green energy. It's very political. Yeah, it is the local government that take the decision.
And for the listeners who might not be familiar, what is the mission of Folkecenter, and how did it come to be?
So the idea was to go 100% renewable energy, because a lot of countries want to be independent. And if they can set up their own energy and take it from different sources, then they are more independent. And that was the idea. But there was one idea more, that we need education program because it was a new way to think about the decentralized energy consumption, so therefore they also need a lot of education program. And it was an education program also for business people. And it was for many years and still the small and middle scale enterpriser. When the big companies grow up, like the wind industry in Denmark, then they not need such a small place like Nordic Folkecenter. So that was education program, and also education program to business, to NGOs, to young people, and to many other that wants to build up some. Because when you are independent, and energy is so important for all societies, then it can be easier to come up on a lot of own energy that are set up in your own country. So that was the background why we were starting. And we were very much supported by the Danish state, our finance budget, and we were on the finance budget, but we also do a lot of projects in different areas.
And Jane, can you share a moment or project in the centre's history that you're particularly proud of?
Okay. At first, there is at least I have 4 that I really like, but I will take 2 of them.
Okay.
I think it was really fantastic that with these know-how we could build up together with our staff, our engineers, to set together with the components, different components, to wind energy. Wind turbines. We could develop wind turbines, and it was totally new. If you look on Denmark, there we have around 10 power stations, and it was power to the whole Denmark for electricity and for heat, and it was based on coal or oil, totally, and that we could change over some years. Of course, it takes some years before it has happened. And wind energy is so well functioned, so it can keep for 25 years, up to 30 years. One of our windmill here is now 41 years old, and it is still really giving. So that is one of our projects I'm quite happy with, or very proud of. And the other thing, it was when we start to look how people could be involved. And then we come up with a program that people could set up small wind machines, wind turbines, and solar heating and solar electricity on their roof. And then the measurement, how much they produce, they were allowed to produce, and then the measurement go backwards when we were producing, and when we not was producing, we took the electricity from the grid. So when you come to the end of December on 1 year, then you have produced and used, so you were in zero, if we could say so. And it was really, we call it net metering. And we have the components, and people was happy with it. And it means that over 3 years, 92,000 household families set up photovoltaics on their house, on their roof. And people that live in the rural areas, they set up the small household wind turbines. So it was about 1,100 small wind turbines set up in this period.
It's a very impressive number, I must say. I have a question about Folkecenter as well, still. What makes the Folkecenter unique in its approach to sustainability and renewable energy.
Yeah. Also the first of all, it is that we are very focused on the technology, that we can be sure that the installation we set up and we promote to people and to the business people, that they are well function. So it means that the most education for young people that are coming here, that is engineer study from the global world. They come and stay with us for education program from their technical university for 4 to 5 months. And then they do a lot of hands-on. We do a lot of hands-on education. So it means that they learn how to climb up in a windmill, how to do a design of blade, how make the control system, how big should the foundation be, how are we doing the different things. So that is still necessary duty. We have to do that. And then also, if we must say it so, that general people that live local or here in around our area, such around 80 kilometers around Folkecenter, they are coming to get advice how they can do it. Which car should they go after? Which electric battery should be the best? What about solar cells? What is so and so? So they come and get advice for the things.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we will go to another part of our interview with you. And we will start the section on youth engagement. So if you could tell me, why do you think it's important for young people to engage with places like Folkecenter?
Thank you for this question, and thank you also for the question that you have prepared for these podcasts here. I like them very much. First of all, we have Nordic Folkecenter are members of INFORSE, and we think it's quite important that we have such a huge contact worldwide through INFORSE. That's one thing. The other thing is that it's different from country to country which need you have. Of course, you have need for energy, but it is also when you are living in countries that they need the heat in the evening. In the winter. Then you need to have the wind energy, and that is of course very important that there are an independent organization that can talk in this way, that it is necessary to have wind energy. You can say that it's changed the landscape. Yes, it's changed the landscape. But if people are involved and are working and have shares in such wind energy or PV park as a photovoltaic, then it's no problem. Then people will support it. Then they will support it. So, and then I think it's quite important that the Nordic Folkecenter are very open. People can come here, they can talk to us, we can organize, like your group here, we have organized that you should come here, and we can have a focus on many things, also how to behavior, how should we behavior the situation that are going on, about to be a democratic country, democratic society that still also work with all the new installation that are needed here. And that can only be done if people are involved, and because we are independent of business, we are independent of the parliaments, the local parliaments, the state parliament, so that we can talk to people in the best way, that we can go this way and we can go this way, and we know it. Also because we are doing a lot of testing at Nordic Folkecenter. And when you are small and middle-scale enterpriser, it's very difficult to go to a university. Small and middle-scale enterpriser, it is in our country, Denmark, it's such around between 3 people up to 15 people employed in the company. So it's very difficult for them also to use a lot of time to understand what are going on in a university. How can we get contact here? They can come in our reception, said, we need to talk, we have this and this idea, could you help us? And then we help them also to do application so that they can get some money. And then we are very often the leader of the project and also follow up and make the report and give the finance budget in the way they want. Therefore, for the decentralized developed Nordic Folkecenter are very institution like ours are very important.
Thank you, Jane. And what kind of opportunities does the Folkecenter offer for young people to get involved here? So do you have internships, workshops, volunteer
I'm very happy for this question, of course. Now you are young people. Your group are young people, such around up to 22 or 25 years old. I don't know really. So we have young people in a training program. We call it, they are trainees in our place. And over a year, we have 28 to 32 people. And the normally group we have, it is between 6 and 7 people on the same time, because it is what we have room for and it is what we can support them. And then they write us a letter and ask for being in our program. And then they tell what they want to work with. And if we can fulfill it as hands-on and a project, then we welcome them. And that is, of course, very important. But we have also other kinds of young people. And it can be a gymnasium that are people such between 17 to 19 years old, that they have in their school a schema, a place where they are focused on different things. And then because we can give so much background what we are saying, so they like very much to do their program when they can have been with us. So we are very focused on young people, and young people are focused on what we can do. Young people are focused on it, so it's so easily to work with young people. Mm-hmm. There can be more adult people that can be, are we going this way, and so, and what will they say? Never with the young people.
Okay, thank you very much. The next question is, how do you ensure youth voices are meaningfully included in decision making at the Folkecenter?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also we work as a team here, and we are very different in our team. And one of our staff will also come here today and help with some transportation, and you will also meet our person that take care of the lunch for all of us today. So it's very important. And when somebody come up with an idea about a new project, then we sit around the table and have a discussion. Because what can we do? What should we focus on? Who should be our partner? So and so that it can happen. We try really to give also the reports we are doing, the young people that are doing report with us, that they have to go back to their university and give it away again to the other students. That is open, so that people, when we have these seminar, it is always open to Zoom or to Meet or which way we are doing it. Mm-hmm. So the people that are involved, the opening that people can come here. There is not a lot of doors you have to open before you find the person. That is, we are using a lot of phone. We are using a lot of emails also, how we can organize it. But we have to remember, and that is therefore it's so easily to work with young people, because we know that we need to behave things in another way. Now we are together here for 1-2 days, and I was very happy when Judith said that we want to eat vegetarisk and vegan, and that will be the future also. Mm-hmm. That will be the future also. So the behavior of all people, that are very important. And then we can go to many things. One thing is the food, one thing is to do energy saving, one thing is how are we dressed, what will it be, how are we recycling, all these things there will be important.
Thank you, Jean. And going further on that topic of different sustainable practices and innovations people can try, are there any other simple practices or solutions from the Folkecenter that our listeners could try in their own communities?
That's of course a big question. That is, of course. I will do it quite short. Mm-hmm. First of all, the components we need to make a society where we are deeply independent on many things. These components are technical ready. And then the next question is how we organize people that they will be with us to make such a society. And deeply in all societies, in all countries, people want to have their life, they want to have energy, they want to have water, they want to have food, of course. And when these three things can go together and people say that we will try to do, then the organization model is out of our view quite easily to set up. When the people are positive, knows that we need to change something, then they can do it, and we have to help how to organize them, how to build the houses, how who is owner, where can we put the different things in our local society. That is possible. That is possible. And we also see it many places in Dutch, also in Holland, and we see it up in Sweden, we see it in Finland, we see it here in Denmark, where we are in Denmark. I think we are around 30 society that have go together and do it. And it's a little like, we are also a kind of society. Such a day today here and yesterday when you come. We have all the energy, all what we have eat and do all these things that are more or less grow here local.
Okay, thank you. My next question is, how do you see the connection between sustainability, social justice and climate action?
Yeah, that's of course a very good question. If we look out in the global, and if we put a little focus on what happened in US, then we have to remember that our president in US, he is elected. So some people has elected him. And it can have to do that the social impact for many people in this country can be quite difficult. They have not a health system. They have it's very expensive to go for shopping, and then when there come up a person that wants to be elected can talk about these social things, then it will have impact for people. And then when we have such a social, then when we are activists, then we have to understand that. We have to understand it. We have to listen to people. We have to have a talk with them so that the social impact and the activism also can be that they can understand what are going on. But of course, we need to have all the things running on the same time. People have a background where they want to do some new things, and then we have to understand them to take in all three things, both to set it up, also that we have to be activists for change something. We have to be understanding for the social impact, and we have to build up education program the whole time so people are with us. If people are not with us, then we'll get too many problems. There will be too many protests. There will be confrontation between activism and the new way. So people's involvement. And now we call Folkecenter. Folke, it means people. So that's important for us.
Thank you, Jane. And linking this with young people, what advice would you give to youth across Europe who want to get involved in sustainability and climate action, but they don't know where to start?
No, that's of course a little difficult question of your questions, I think. So, yeah. Also, if I look at the Nordic Folkecenter, then because we open up for students. It can be architect students, it can be engineer students, as I was saying, and then they are involved here between 4 to 6 months. And they are also involved, they also get contact to so many different cultures. It can be from India, it can be from Africa, it can be from Europe, and now you ask for Europe. So when they can see how it's function, then they can go back to their countries and talk with their voice, saying it's function. We can set it up. We can involve. We have to involve so that these. It's not only a protest against activism. Some people are always saying that activism it is that they are going against it. No. It can be totally around also, that they are inspiration. They come with the new ideas. And I think here in this time we have had Folkecenter, there has been around more than 1,000 of young people through our staying here for a longer period, as we call trainee, from Latin America, from Italy, from Denmark, coming around. So that is that I'm quite proud of, that we have could integrate so many people, and we eat like we do yesterday in the same kitchen together. We take our breakfast together. So we are very involved also in the social, the culture, art, many things.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that will be last question from our list. Where can people, young people, learn more about the Folkecenter?
Yeah.
Or if they would like, how they can plan the visits to come here?
We have in our homepage that people can sign themselves up and ask if they could be here for 2 days for a training program. There'll be so and so many people, and then we want to focus on so and so, and then we answer them that it is possible, and we could start in the morning, and then so and so. The other is the more global trainee program we have, that people has to apply for coming, and the accommodation and the food they pay for, but they not pay fee for education program. So you could say that all the young people that are coming are kind of assistants to what we are doing in project. So they have to ask for which project they want to go into and what is their background. And we have to speak English here and such things. And then they put the application to us, and then we make an interview per the phone. What could be there interesting on it. And if we have this and this project, we have a project in Scandinavian, we have a project in Greenland where we do education program for hand workers about renewable energy. Could it be interesting for communication and such things? And then we could say that we are also going into to grow different things in our garden, and we are focused on beans, also based on a lot of good proteins. That could also be. Then there is some that want, especially French people, especially from Britannia. They are very interesting in wave energy, where they can go in together with companies and do testing at Nordic Folkecenter. So they are doing an application, which time they want to come, what they want to focus on, and then we make an interview, and then we take a decision that we can start this and this day. And then they are, when they come from the universities, it is between 3 months and 5 months they stay with us.
Wow, sounds like a very good program.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having and spend the time with us and talking about this amazing place. If you would like to add something maybe to the interview that we didn't mention and you think it's very relevant, it's like we can have like a couple of minutes now. But if you don't
I would like to answer you. I would like to put some comments.
Sure, please.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When we such look for young people and young people that are on the way into different societies, then it is important to be very important that young people can make network and work in teams. It can be working together with men and women. It can be different languages. It can be different culture, background. People from India are doing so, and people from Africa are looking in another way. That is very, very important. And then I always advise young people also, these things that you have, you are interesting. Be really good to do things. Have these background as a kind of professional that this year, that I can do it. That is these three things I think is very important for young people. My own background is I'm educated as a social worker and was against atomic energy. And then we started a very, very, very little group. We were only 4 people that start such to go against atomic energy. But 4 people can do many things. Also be on the street and telling so and so. And then there was one day one person saying to our little group there, we understand that you are against atomic energy, but tell us, what are you for? And then we start to say we have to be more clever, and we have to be more professional about how we are setting. And that was the background for Nordic Folkecenter. We cannot only say no, of course. We need our coffee, we need our energy. So we have to say yes for something. And that was the background. And then about these networking, what you are doing, that's important. Mm-hmm. That is important, because when we know each other, it is much easier, and it's also easier if we look in professional way, because when you have to make a program or applications, when you have a good network in all the different countries, then it is really, really good things.
Okay, so I think we can say final thank you.
Yeah.
And it was amazing half an hour. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Good.
Thank you
So we take our...
Now, after seeing the Folkecenter in action, our partners at Youth and Environment Europe reflected on what the experience meant to them as young environmental advocates, as well as a part of a cross-sectoral collaboration. Here's what Stephanie had to say.
The visit to the Nordic Folkecenter for Renewable Energy was a powerful reminder of the importance of decentralized, community-led solutions in the transition to sustainable energy systems. So experiencing firsthand the living labs, innovative technologies, and the open source approach of the Folkecenter reinforced our belief that youth leadership in sustainability must be rooted in both technical understanding and values of justice and collaboration. So ultimately, the visit deepened our commitment to integrating hands-on learning, systems thinking, and cross-sectoral dialogue into our sustainability work. And of course, it also inspired us to continue creating spaces for youth voices and intergenerational exchange in shaping a just and resilient energy future.
Before we close, let's recap a few key takeaways and share how you, our listeners, can get involved. Whether it's through ELI, the Folkecenter, or other initiatives, there are so many ways to take part in the movement for a more sustainable and just world. This brings us to the end of the first episode of Empowering Sustainability. A big thank you to our speakers from Otwarty Plan, INFORSE-Europe, YE, and the Folkecenter, and to you for listening. You can find more about the ELI project and our partners in the episode notes. Be sure to subscribe and follow us for future episodes as we continue exploring how youth are powering the energy transition across Europe. Until next time.